All right. Hey, Devin. Welcome. How's it going this morning?
Good.
Okay. So let's go ahead and get started here. I'm gonna, oh, welcome. There's our live stream starting. Okay. So let me just get our info in here. And if you are ready to go, just make sure you've got your original sound on and let us know what you'll be playing. And then you can go ahead and start. Okay.
I'm playing the classic sonatina and the first movement, which is Allegro.
All right. Terrific, Devin. Okay, so this was really well done. How did you feel about the your playing?
I felt good at it. I think like jumping from like the lower C to the high C was a little hard,
Mm,
but
finding that seat. Well, I mean, so you did a great job jumping, getting ready to jump in general, right? And you were doing a great job with this. Just try to visually spot, right? Even as you're going down, right? Your fingers hopefully can start to kind of just feel if you're playing a scale down, right? When you get down to middle C. So already when your hand is getting to the bottom of that scale, be looking for that high. Does that make sense? And
yeah.
I mean, you did fine with it. Can you try that? Actually, let's try that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, and it's that was like I said, it was sounding just fine before. I think so. That's one strategy to practice when it comes to making these big jumps on the keyboard. Don't focus so much on the jump, but treat it as something that's coming up, right? So make sure you're just spotting where you're going,
Mm-hmm.
right? A
Yeah.
little bit before, right? So you don't have to follow, get down to the bottom, and then be like, oh, I got to get up here, right? Just
Yeah.
remember that, especially if it's something like stepwise, like it is here, like a scale, or your hand's not really changing position at the bottom of the jump, right? You can already anticipate. So just practice anticipating a little bit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So what did you feel like went really well about this?
I think like the rhythm was good, and I
Hmm?
like and no parts were like slow.
Yeah, so I thought this was great. You had you had a very good sense of pulse that you maintained throughout the whole thing. Um, and yeah, the rhythms were all terrific. How do you feel about your dynamics?
I don't think I put that any dynamics in it though.
Yeah, I mean, I could hear a little bit. It could have had a bit more contrast. Can we try it with so? And the way I like to think of it too, to help yourself remember,
Mm-hmm.
don't just remember like this part is soft, this part is loud, this part is soft, right? Um try to make either like a pattern or something that makes sense, right? So tell yourself, it doesn't have to be like a story, but notice, so what happens here? You play this scale loud
Mm-hmm.
and then you play it soft, and then we play the rest of the phrase like mezzo forte. So
Yeah.
one way to think of this, like instead of just, like we just noted, right? Instead of just like, oh, this part is loud, this part is soft, this part is medium. You can say, so these two parts, since it's the same exact thing, right? This is a loud and then an echo, and then you continue,
Yeah.
right? So there's a lot of places where you can practice like an echo situation. And remember,
Yeah.
then you remember like soft versus loud, right? So can you try? Yeah, let's try that beginning. Can we try the first page one more time? And can we find, I want you to play, first of all, can you just play a chord on the piano at loud dynamic? Good. Yeah. And so I would start like you did before, right? Notice what you did. Get your fingers kind of ready and just think of like dropping your hand from a little bit above the keys, right? It doesn't have to be that high, but yeah, dropping it right from above the keys versus now try to play soft. Yeah, good. Right. So keep your fingers nice and firm still, and feel like you're going down into the keys. But start with your fingertips already touching the keys, right? So you're not dropping from above, you're dropping from on the keys. And then just like, I don't know, maybe like the palm of your hand weighing down instead of your whole arm, right? Okay. So does it feel like you have a little bit more control there? So now
Yeah.
use that feel of those now to gauge the dynamics here and just play, maybe like the first page. Oh, nice. Okay, terrific. Yeah, so much better dynamics there, right? Did that feel okay? It sounded like you felt pretty
Yeah.
confident getting soft versus loud, right? So things to remember, right? Loud, you're going to achieve a loud dynamic mostly by I guess like the weight in your fingers. And you can also, think
Yeah.
of moving your fingers a little bit above the keys, whereas soft, right? Don't think that you're not don't think about it as I'm moving slower or I'm not pressing the keys as much. You still need to, you can move at the same pace and you can press the keys with the same, you know, deliberateness. So don't be afraid to like press the key all the way down. But it's
Yeah.
about using, right? Think about using less weight, maybe just the weight of the palm of your hand and keeping your fingers closer to the keys. So when we start to do, sometimes this happens when we play staccato and it's soft, right? If you think about your hand and it gets too far away from the keys because you're trying to play staccato, that makes it get louder, right? So you can place, yeah, right. You can play staccato. You can play staccato with your fingers touching the keys. You just need it's a little bit more controlled, right? So yeah, so just always keep that in mind when it comes to dynamics, and I think that'll help you control it. Okay. All right, but very nicely done, Devin. I know you probably have to go to school, but I'll see you next time you play. Okay. Great work this
Yeah.
morning.